What's up, GT Magazine? Sometimes on some of these videos where I address the behavior of black women, I'll add some humor and some levity, try to make it amusing and humorous, but at the same time pointing out the foolishness or the recklessness in their behavior. But then other times, there's nothing funny about what they do. And I call it out because it's a problem. It's a problem. And somehow or another, it's a problem that others in our community feel we're not allowed to address. When you call out the degenerate behavior of some black women, their horrible skills as a mother, their irresponsibility, their recklessness, their foul mouths, their hostile behavior, then other black women come to their rescue and, oh, you can't say that about her. Oh, you can't talk about her. Oh, you mean all black women. You hate your mama black. You must be gay. No, that is the problem. And if it doesn't apply to you as a black woman, then rather than getting triggered by it, why don't you help educate and inform the ones that are doing it so that hopefully one day it won't apply to them either. And we can lift each other up. But by simply ignoring it or saying, well, they do it, but what about other good black women? Well, we have plenty of good black women. And no one's saying we don't. But that doesn't negate the behavior of some of these degenerates that are destroying our communities, that are raising other black children to behave the same way. Which brings me to today's video. And it's a tough one. It's a tough one. The behavior of this woman is so disgraceful and so shameful. She has absolutely zero empathy or compassion or accountability. The word narcissist is thrown around so recklessly and often, but in this case, it couldn't be more accurate. This woman has no sense of accountability. She has no respect for anyone else other than herself. She lacks the ability to feel or understand other people's pain and hurt. All she wants to do is be loud and be heard and be given the opportunity to be as reckless and irresponsible as humanly possible. I cannot describe enough what a terrible human being you're about to meet. So here we go with today's video.
It was supposed to be a beautiful Easter morning in 2021. What happened next would never be forgotten for this family.
We weren't getting a pulse on these people.
We've been tracking this case for the last 2.5 years. After dozens of open records requests and the hiring of an attorney, we finally obtained the records related to this tragic incident and go in depth on the story behind it. 911 calls detail the seriousness behind what took place.
April 4, 2021, 10:32:35.
Please confirm with the address of your emergency.
Yes, there's been a severe car accident on
Where?
Highway 42.
What's the cross
County
street?
Road 42.
What's across?
Bubble Barn.
Bubble Barn.
County Road 5.
County Road 5.
Okay, how many vehicles?
Happened. Two vehicles.
Is anybody injured?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what kind of injuries?
We don't
know. We're driving past it.
But that's completely totaled. It looks like it's going to start on fire.
Okay, are you there anymore?
No,
we've driven by.
Okay, stop. They've been on the way this entire time. This is just getting more information for them for when they arrive, okay? Like I said, we have a lot of help on the way. Thank you for calling.
Yep, thank you.
10:32:39.
911, is this a life or death emergency?
Yes, it is. There's a car crash on 42, like right by the gas station.
42, hold on. 42 and what?
But I don't know. Whatever's by the Bubble Barn.
What happened?
The red car was turning like by the
tell me what happened. Accident or I can't understand.
A car crash. Yes, a car crash.
Is anyone injured?
Yes.
Okay, is it blocking traffic? I need someone to talk to me.
The car's on fire. There's one car on fire.
A car's on fire from it? Which car's on fire?
The white car. The Chrysler car's on fire.
Okay, do you see flames or just smoke?
Yes, there's flames and smoke.
Okay, is anyone in the vehicle that's on fire?
No, not in the vehicle, but the car and the SUV, there's somebody that is not conscious.
Just stay on the line with me. I have lots of help on the way. Are you involved or are you just passerby?
No, I'm a passerby, but my friend's brother and sister were in the car that just got hit.
Court testimony held at a later date details the moments before officers arrived. After witnessing a horrific crash, witnesses say they approached the white vehicle and found one passenger to be severely injured, but alive. Bystanders pulled her out of the car while it was on fire, likely saving her life. She would not have been able to do this on her own due to her injuries, which included a broken ankle, broken backbones, and 2 broken ribs. She also suffered from a deep laceration caused by the seatbelt into her stomach, exposing her intestines underneath her shirt. The driver of that same vehicle was able to get out on his own and sustained minor injuries. As officers arrive, they witness the injured passenger on the ground and recognize that civilians have stepped up to help.
Hello, thanks for attending to her.
Their next priority is to check on the occupants of the red vehicle. The damage is plainly obvious, as the red vehicle was struck with such a force that it was ripped into 2 pieces.
Did you guys catch that? The woman who they described with her intestines out, broken ribs and broken back, was the passenger in the white vehicle. The vehicle they hit, the red vehicle, was hit so hard it was sheared in 2. You hit a SUV so hard it was split in 2. Let's go.
Is everyone out? You think everyone's out here? There's one in here. Okay.
Look at what's left of the car they hit. That used to be an SUV. It looks like a crumpled soda can. People on the street, people driving by, are forced to witness just unbelievable, unimaginable carnage. And you're going to find out what led to this carnage in just a minute. And I'm telling you, you're not prepared for the demon you're about to meet.
I didn't feel a pulse though. Okay.
No fire extinguishers? I'm not too concerned about that.
Is there still a person in here? 2 in here. Yeah, the driver and one in the back seat.
85 I'm arriving. There's 2 on
45, 122 or 86. We've got 2 trapped inside of a vehicle that'll need to be pried out. I don't know if they've got either the 2 have a pulse.
No.
Okay, I understand your concern.
Yeah.
I'll just have you wait back here. Thank you.
I'm not getting a pulse on the back seat.
These people aren't coming out of this vehicle, right? Nope. Am I seeing that right? Okay.
Yep.
All right. I appreciate your assistance. Thank you.
I'm a former EMTA.
Oh, you are? All right. All right, and we know that nobody's in this one.
Now, the dialogue you see on the screen and the person you hear scream in the back is the monster that helped lead to all of this. She's screaming, I'm going to kill somebody. I'm going to kill somebody. That's what she's saying. I'm going to kill that bish. That's what she's screaming.
Everybody out?
Okay, we're clear here.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to try to maintain some kind of a perimeter here.
Are you reading what she's saying on the screen? She's saying this bitch better be effing dead or I'm going to kill her. She's talking about the people in the red SUV that is torn to pieces. She's saying if they're not dead, when she gets to them, she's going to kill them. And here we meet the disgusting, vile monster. You have probably never in your life encountered such a shameful excuse for a human being as you are looking at on your screen right now. And I'm trying to be careful with my words so I don't get demonetized. But there are a few descriptors you could use that can accurately describe what a piece of human excrement you are looking at right now on your screen. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's go.
Who was in the car?
She was in the car. I'll give it to you later. Please get them to the hospital now. I will give it to you. I will give it to you all right now. Just get them to the hospital now.
Now they're asking for her information and driver's license. We're going to find out why she's deflecting and pretending to be so concerned about everyone else's well-being, as opposed to just providing the police with the information they need. And clearly the police are doing everything they can do to get everyone to the hospital. That is as obvious as the ridiculous nails on her fingers. But she needs to deflect. And we'll find out why she needs to deflect in just a bit.
She's a huge cut right here on her neck.
Well, did you see what happened, or you just heard videoing?
I just saw this and I came over.
Okay, so you did see it happen, or you didn't?
No, I didn't see the accident.
Okay, all right. Right behind you. Is there anything I can do to help get this person out?
Check a pulse on that.
We weren't getting a pulse on these people.
She needs to.
Were you in the car? Were you in the car? The passenger or the driver?
She's a passenger. She's a passenger.
Miss, have you switched your keys right quicker? Need a stretcher? Yes, please. See if we can get an ID on these two passengers.
This is her sister. She wasn't in the car. She was in a different car. Her sister was in the white car.
I just need her sister's name.
Now, see, here we have bystanders who are just assuming that she's just a distraught woman who's sad about her sister being in a car accident. So they're hugging her and doing what normal human beings would do, showing compassion and love and care, not knowing that they are comforting the demon responsible for all of this.
Officers gathered information and got most of the story put together. The individuals in the red car, Dalton and Taylor, were struck by the white car, driven by Leon Bond III with his twin sister, Sienna, in the front passenger seat. Their older sister, Camille Dennis Bond, was driving alongside them in a separate and seemingly uninvolved black vehicle with her best friend in the passenger seat, Lynn. Lynn was the one to make the 911 call at the beginning of this video. After the crash, Camille stopped down the street in the middle of the road and ran towards the accident on foot. According to court testimony, Camille got out of the car so fast she forgot to put the car in park, but Lynn noticed and did it for her from the passenger seat. Officers quickly realized this may be a criminal investigation involving multiple fatalities and that extreme speeds were likely involved. Accordingly, they quickly identify Camille as a key person of interest. Officers will eventually obtain video evidence of the crash itself to further support Camille's involvement. We will go over that footage later in this video.
Ma'am, can't go over there right now. We got a car on fire. It's not safe.
It's okay. It's okay. They're fine. I know, baby. It's gone. It's gone. Yeah. I don't know. I'm making sure something. That car up there. Sure, 770.
What was it? Here, Camille is immediately placing blame on the other driver. She doesn't hesitate to use profanities towards Taylor, who she incorrectly believes was driving the red car.
I think we're going to call 1072.
Okay. 45-122. There's going to be two 1072s.
Officers unfortunately discover the two individuals in the red car, Dalton Lee Ford and Taylor Nicole Garza, have been killed in the crash. The couple was 22 years old. They had plans to celebrate Easter with their families that morning.
3 people are out here taking pictures of the dead person.
So the officers are understandably perturbed by the fact that you got a bunch of morons walking around with their cell phones out, which happens far too often, recording and taking pictures and gathering B-roll, probably for they can post some smooth brain video on their channel to get likes and clicks at someone else's expense. But what they're really going to be appalled by is when they understand the extent to Camille's involvement.
Well, and I asked all of them, did you see what happened? Or are you just hearing a video? Yeah, doing their commentary and
Witnesses over here. Okay. So we'll need to start talking to them. Okay. Hi there.
Officers begin questioning witnesses to hopefully figure out exactly what happened.
So that's what she said. She's saying the poor girl in the red SUV that they hit, who is unfortunately deceased, better be deceased or she's going to find her and do it herself.
He's got some ribbon. So whenever we get another...
Can you help look back?
Y'all see him like wipe his face off? He got glass shards. Yeah, we were all going back to my house so we can get dressed and go.
I can't even go over here right now.
Wait, right here, by the KFC.
Have them meet you down at Caribou.
Yeah. I had to get him out. I didn't even park my car. It was falling down the hill. I had to get him out. How did it gotta be dead?
Now she's on the phone describing herself as some kind of hero. She jumped out of her car and she didn't have time to put it in park. She came to get her brother out to save him from the car. Narcissism. Like, really, you hear that word thrown around so much, but look it up. Like, if it ever applied to a human being who stepped on this planet, this would be it.
Hey, man, can I get the phone you had? Your friend would like it back.
You hear the narcissism? It should have been me, trying to make herself seem like she was willing to be a martyr. She's only concerned with everyone else when she's really only concerned about herself. And she's just trying to deflect. It's all an act. It's all phony. And it's absolutely disgusting.
My mom is here, but her car is up there.
Okay. Is your car still drivable?
My car is fine. Is she dead? Is she dead? That's all I need to know.
I have no idea.
Well, she better be. If she's not, I'm stuffing on that head. I'm in the car. I'm going to my car.
Why don't we wait here for a second?
No.
I don't think you're able to.
Yes, I am. I'm fine.
No, I don't think you're
I'm
able
going to my sister. I'm going to my sister. Camille, she left. Camille, she left.
She's gone. Yeah, that's that one. I'm just telling you.
My car is fine though. That's what I'm saying. It's fine. I'm not moving it. I just need my phone and my shoes.
That's what I'm gonna get for you.
Okay.
Stay right here, please. Hi, I'm Matt. I know.
Look at my baby.
Sorry.
Is she dead?
Your sister or no?
No, that.
I don't know. Man. I'm very sorry. I can't give that information.
You hear how she describes a woman whose life she took? Or they took? What a disgusting human being. What an absolutely disgusting human being.
We just want you to be safe right now, aren't we?
I'm fine. I just want my stuff. I'm not going anywhere.
This must be really hard.
Yeah.
Looks like
I need to get my phone.
Okay. Your car might be locked, so we can't.
It's not. My keys are in the car. It's not going to lock.
Okay. Where's your phone?
It's in the car. It's connected to the. It's connected to a white plug.
Okay.
I have to get it. My mom's gonna call me.
I think he has it. It's with your shoes.
Yeah.
I see it in his hand.
Excuse my language. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. But the tried to hit him. They tried to. I'm sorry. Person tried to hit him.
Easy. Right here. Alright. You're the auntie? Okay. Alright. No, right over there.
They went to the
They went to Richie.
Okay, yeah, gotta go.
And they're both.
Passengers in the white car are okay.
What about the people?
I don't know yet. Yeah. Let's just get you off the street.
I gotta go.
I need everybody to go on the other side of the road.
I'm going to the hospital.
All this showboating, all this performative behavior, just acting out, all this drama, and it's just embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. Once you get to know the people they're talking about, and now the auntie comes and, where's my poor babies, and are they okay, and my poor babies. Well, we'll get to know her poor babies here in just a few minutes.
We'll get it taken care of, man.
Okay. All right, I gotta go get my truck over there.
Okay.
Sterling, you stay with Camille.
Okay. Let me walk with you.
Okay. Oh my God.
All right, guys. Do we
Are
want to
both of them going to Hennepin County Medical Center?
They're either going to Hennepin or Ridgeview. Ridgeview is closer.
Well, I was told that Tiana was going to Ridgeview Medical because this is both of her children.
Yeah. So then they're going to Ridgeview, which is in Burnsville.
They're going to the Ridgeview Hospital. That's in Burnsville.
I had to do a quick look. I know.
And that's why I hope that So what is doing my part? I hope that she is because she
Why is it court like that?
because the tried to beat him.
Can you talk to her? Because she just said that they just passed that hospital.
She tried to beat him, and then I tried to go around her so he wouldn't hit her. And
You hear her just trying her best to spin her lie, trying her best to twist this to some way make the other parties responsible. Immediately, minutes after she took 2 lives, she's already working on exonerating herself. She's only thinking about herself. That's it. That's it. No accountability, no remorse. She just wants to now try to wipe her hands of the blood she's got on. Come on.
Minneapolis.
They both went to county Minneapolis.
she tried to beat him still.
Let's move to this
And then
next
she tried
corner,
to go around him.
I don't know why they took him over there with their mama. I don't know.
Be on his phone, but she only has a big cut right here. Her knee's gonna come out of it.
Camille's sitting with you.
We're still, we have to wait for the medical examiner to get here before we can touch any of the cars. You could expedite, we're going to go 10-15 with this thing now. So what was your first name?
Camille.
Okay, Camille, here's what's going to happen is we're going to be placing you under arrest.
Why?
For criminal vehicular operation.
How?
Well, you were racing your brother.
No, I was not.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We have to examine all of our phones and that type of stuff. So, like I said, we can go 2 ways. If we have to put you in handcuffs, but we're going to take you back to our station to talk to you.
Nobody was racing. We were going 65.
Okay. So, I understand that.
No.
So she just admitted she was speeding because the speed limit is 50. Let's go.
Okay, so you think you're going 65?
We weren't even going that fast, and I watched it. That's the thing. I watched it.
Okay.
And he was even behind me.
So who squealed out at the intersection there? Do you
What
know?
was that?
Who squealed out back at that intersection way down there? Did you have a witness that said that somebody had smoke pouring over the tires?
No, we did not. We left at the same time. Nobody had wheels nor nothing.
Okay.
That whoever told you that is lying.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna say it like this: whoever told you who said that, most likely is probably white, and I know it is.
This wouldn't be the first time Camille has claimed being prejudiced against while being accused of a crime. Before the day of the crash, Camille held several speeding tickets in her records, even though she was just 19 years old. Her first ticket listed she was traveling 50 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone, 20 miles over the speed limit. Her second speeding charge was for going 58 miles in a 45-mile-an-hour zone, 13 miles over the speed limit. However, the ticket details that she was very argumentative with the officer in this situation. The report shares that she argued she was pulled over due to her loud music and her being black, then claimed she was traveling that speed on a hill, and then when the officer handed her the ticket, she crumpled it up and tossed it into the passenger seat of her vehicle. Her third ticket was listed as duty to drive with due care speed, where no specific speed data is cited. More details on more of her tickets will be covered shortly.
Okay.
We were not racing, no, none of that.
You weren't racing at all?
No,
Okay.
I told him, for a simple fact, I'm gonna tell you just like this. For a simple fact, we are black. It is a nice day outside. I know that the police are out. We see the state troopers out. We were not going fast. I said, we're gonna just go the speed limit up here. He said, okay. His car has more horsepower than mine does. Okay. So obviously it's gonna sound like it because I know how the engine sounds. Okay. And I'm gonna spit fact. My car is slow. Okay. But I was in front, so he knows I was in front. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna be in front because he's gonna follow my lead. We were not going fast. She gassed on it. When I mean she gassed on it, she didn't see him because he was behind me. My car was up there, but I moved it up here because it was rolling back and it was still in drive. I don't want to mess up my transmission. She gassed on it to try to beat him.
Okay, so I appreciate you telling me all that type of stuff. So, like I said, our process is this, okay?
Please don't do that. So, I'm already black and it already looks bad enough.
It has nothing to do with race, man. We have 2 people that are dead right now caused by an accident.
Because she gassed on it.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me and my brother. Okay. We were not speeding. Okay. What do you not understand?
You know what the speed limit is on here?
Yes, it's 55. We were going 60. Okay. It's not my problem that she wanted to be a dumb bitch.
Wow. I told you. This was a tough one. She's an absolute demon. In the short time she's talked to these cops, she's incriminated herself several times. Her story's changed all over the place. It makes no sense. She's a liar. She's trying to portray herself as a victim. She's using a race card, which is a disgrace to all the black people in this world who actually do suffer from being victims of racism. She's doing anything and everything she can to deflect from what she and her brother did. And it's absolutely disgusting, and it only gets worse. But what's really the most heinous thing about all this is the way she's talking about the poor child that she killed. Come on.
She didn't see him because he was behind me. Actually, my car was up there, but I moved it up here because it was rolling back and it was still in drive. I don't want to mess up my transmission. She gassed on it to try to beat him.
Okay, so I appreciate you telling me all that type of stuff. So, like I said, our process is this, okay?
Please don't do that. So, I'm already black and it already looks bad enough.
It has nothing to do with race, man. We have 2 people that are dead right now caused by an accident.
Because she gassed on it.
Okay.
That has nothing to do with me and my brother.
Okay,
we were not speeding. Okay. What do you not understand?
You know what the speed limit is on here?
Yes, it's 55. We were going 60.
Okay.
It's not my problem that she wanted to be a dumb bitch and try to beat us. Okay. That's not my problem. Okay. You placing me under arrest for something that we did not do? We have digital dashes, bro.
We're going to get all that.
We have digital dashes. So therefore, we were going 60.
So you don't have to yell at me.
I have to because you don't understand.
Okay, so here's what is going to happen.
No, I'm not. Okay. You're not placing me under arrest or anything. Arrest.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. Baby, I love you. I love all of you guys.
Stay there.
Let's stay.
Narcissism. I love you. I love all of you guys. I'm just so perfect. I'm a victim. It's everyone else's fault. You can't hold me responsible. Just a disgusting human being, y'all.
Please, baby.
You're going to be in handcuffs in a minute if you don't stay over there.
Please, baby. I love you guys. I love all you guys.
Let's go put on a super.
I love you, Mom. Yep. Yeah. And yes, they did use force, and I was not resisting.
So, miss, what we'll do is we'll take a statement from you and everything you said.
Can you take me out of these, please?
When we get back to our station, okay?
Love you guys.
Again, they used force on me and I was not resistant. Now, we just sat there and watched you get arrested, ma'am. There was no force used whatsoever. The tactics that you use are disgraceful. They're disgraceful. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing and it's hard to watch. It's hard to believe that there are actually human beings like this walking this earth. But video don't lie.
Can you, Jay, you want to pat her down quick?
I don't have.
Watch this tear. Watch this cry that she's about to put on without a single tear. The driest cry you will ever see in your entire life.
I know. I gotta make sure.
They let it on. I didn't got no drawers off.
Listen. Okay.
I didn't got no drawers off.
Okay.
While both...
What's that got to do with anything? You left the house with no drawers on. It's not like they took your drawers. It's not like you had some drawers and someone stole them. You ain't got no drawers on because you don't put no drawers on. So are you bragging or complaining? Help us out. Let's go.
Leon and Camille were arrested that day. They were both released shortly after, pending charges. However, prosecutors did charge and arrested the driver of the white vehicle that made contact in the crash, Leon Bond III, who faced charges 6 months later. Leon was ultimately tried as a juvenile. This was despite the efforts to try him as an adult, including a delinquency petition and a petition for adult verification, both of which were denied. Because he was tried as a juvenile, the details surrounding his case are not readily available or
So, this damn gremlin right here was actually driving the car that struck the SUV and killed the 2 people. But he was tried as a juvenile. And that's part of the problem. That's a huge part of the problem. Is the way our criminal justice system has been twisted so that you can commit the most heinous crime imaginable, but you walk into court automatically covered in a sheet of sympathy. And every effort is made to accommodate you, regardless of who you've hurt, whose life you might have taken, how much damage you caused. You're already blanketed in sympathy the minute you walk into court. And this is why this behavior goes on and on. And that's not just hyperbole. You're going to see, as this unfolds, the fact that they were coddled by the courts has led them to more and more and more reckless and irresponsible behavior.
Public. However, we do know some things, which includes a peek into Leon's school history with fights. One appellate case reveals that Leon's mother legally went after a school official when he attempted to prevent a fight that involved Leon, his two sisters, and another student. The case accuses the school official of dislocating Leon's arm while attempting to prevent the fight. This case was ultimately denied by the court due to there being a lack of willful or malicious wrong in the school official's actions.
So, at school, being thugs, him and his sisters are going to fight one student. What does that sound like to you? A fair fight or somebody getting jumped? And instead of their mom holding them responsible for their behavior, she sued the school for someone stopping her son from jumping on another student. So where do you think this behavior comes from?
While Leon's case was being determined, Camille was also charged 6 months after the crash with charges surrounding her direct involvement by drag racing. During that 6-month period before her arrest, Camille got pulled over and charged for driving on a revoked license. Her license was revoked due to her failing to address her 3 previous speeding charges. She then got another speeding ticket that listed her going 59 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone, 24 miles over the speed limit. In that pullover, she stated she was going downhill as the reason she was traveling so fast. In October of 2021, she was issued an arrest warrant and faced 2 counts of third-degree murder, 2 counts of criminal vehicular homicide, 1 count of criminal vehicular operation resulting in great bodily harm, and 1 count of careless driving. The warrant she was issued revealed more details surrounding the incident.
So before we get into this incident, in the 6 months while she was waiting to get the charges you just heard, she was caught speeding several more times. And she was driving even though her license was revoked. No remorse, no accountability, no responsibility, and no indication at all that she intends to ever behave like a responsible human being or to be anything other than a menace to society.
Including a deeper look into post-event interviews and forensic research. The report detailed surveillance footage that shows the intersection they started the race at. Witness testimony shares that the two exchanged a conversation here, pertaining to whose car could accelerate faster. After that alleged conversation, the 2 cars take off well ahead of the other vehicles surrounding them. Another surveillance camera captures the impact. Moments before, you can see just how long it takes for this uninvolved vehicle to enter the right side of the frame and pass the area where the crash happens. When Camille and Leon's vehicles zoom by moments later, it takes roughly half the time. A crash reconstruction report reveals data obtained by the airbag control module in Leon's vehicle. The report indicated Leon and his sister Camille, who was traveling alongside him, were going 114 miles per hour just 5 seconds before the crash.
You catch that? Now she stood both faced there in front of the cops and swore, "We weren't speeding. We weren't racing." But there's tons of video evidence that clearly shows you and your disgusting knucklehead brother speeding and racing. We have digital dashboards. We were going 65. No, oops, that sounds too fast. I mean, we were going 60. Well, actually, you were going 114 miles an hour. 114 miles an hour down a crowded street when you killed someone. Minutes after you killed them, you jumped out of your car and swore if she wasn't dead, you were going to kill her and cursed her up and down the street. That is who you are. That's the person you were raised to be. And you and everyone related to you should be shamed to the point where you can't even show your face in public. by the disgusting human being you became. Let's go.
4 miles over the posted 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Court documents also indicated Leon and Camille were over 3 football fields away when Dalton and Taylor started to take the turn. They traveled roughly 3/4 of a mile after taking off from the intersection before crashing. Her and her brother's vehicle were traveling between 93 and 106 miles an hour before Leon's vehicle struck Dalton and Taylor. The day after her arrest on October 29, 2021, Camille posted a $75,000 non-cash bond, which came with conditions that notably did not exclude her driving privileges, allowing her to drive despite the seriousness behind her case. 2 months.
That's our criminal justice system. That's the other link in this horrific chain. They let this demon out and did not even restrict her from driving. That's our criminal justice system. That needs to be fixed. Easy on crime, my ass. How about you go easy on the public? Because we've had enough. We've had enough of these monsters. Let's go.
Months after her release on bond, court records indicate she got in a car accident where she claimed another driver was at fault. She issued a small claims case to the court for the other individual to pay a sum greater than $4,500. In the following year, she won this court case due to the other party not showing up. She was given yet another speeding ticket in May of 2022. This time, she was caught going 83 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone, 23 miles over the speed limit. In this pullover, the ticket cites that Camille was unaware of the speed limit, cried, and explained to the officer that she had a bad experience with law enforcement before and was afraid of cops. State records allegedly showed her car's registration was expired despite the stickers on her car displaying she was up to date. In January of 2023, 3 months shy of 2 years after the car crash, news reports indicate that Camille's brother Leon pled guilty to 2 counts of third-degree murder. He was sentenced to 25 years of prison that same month. Because inmates only have to serve 2/3 of their sentence before transferring to probation, this means he should be out of jail in 16 years and 8 months, or in September of 2039, when he is 36 years old. However, rules apply differently for juvenile cases. Here is an image posted on what appears to be Leon's Facebook page, posted in September.
Look at this. Look at this degenerate monster. Where do you think he got that cash from? Working hard, serving the community, doing something productive? I doubt it. I doubt it with his two phones on the counter, handful of cash. They never got better. How would they? How could they? It sounds like it started with their parents, and it probably started with their parents' parents. Multi-generational gremlins, and just a disgrace. A blight on society. Let's go.
Of 2023, where he seems to be under house arrest. He proudly holds what looks to be $1,000 in cash with a smile on his face. Because Leon was being tried as a juvenile, he was put on probation until the age of 21, with a stayed sentence of 25 years in prison. As long as Leon doesn't break probation by age 21, his sentence will be considered served. In mid-2024, Leon turned 21 and successfully completed his probation. His sentence for murdering Dalton and Taylor is considered served. His sister, who operated the other racing vehicle, Camille Bond, faced a slew of charges as an adult for her involvement, making her case information more readily available. Through court deliberations, Camille's defense team would not only argue that she was not at fault due to her not being in the vehicle that struck Taylor and Dalton, but would go as far as to say Dalton should have yielded before the turn, and even suggested Dalton was at fault for the crash. In this section of the video, we will cover the surprising court deliberations that brought the case to its conclusion. In court, several factors were brought to light through witness and expert testimonies. While there are some notable instances of witnesses ascribing the scene to being horrific and the worst thing they have ever experienced, some more frustrating revelations deem that Camille and her brother Leon were not only reckless with their actions, but continued to be reckless after bystanders had told them to slow down prior to the crash. Court testimony details that a bystander noticed descriptions of Camille's and Leon's vehicles traveling at a high rate of speed past her house in a residential neighborhood. This frustrated the witness as it was Easter Sunday, and there were children outside. This witness noticed that the pair parked down the street from her residence, so she decided to walk down to the cars to tell them to slow down. This witness's testimony matched the descriptions of Camille, her passenger friend Lynn, and the description of the vehicles Camille and her brother were driving. After the neighbor had spoke to them directly about slowing down, she claims the cars then sped past her on the road as she was walking back to her home, which was an inferred attempt at retaliation. This neighbor then tried calling 911 at 10:28 over their reckless behavior, roughly 4 minutes before the crash happened. Unfortunately, it appears the call didn't connect, and the neighbor decided to let it go, seeing as she only had a partial license plate to work with. A couple days later, when she saw a news article involving the vehicles, she claims to have recognized the plate based off the partial she had, causing her to call the authorities to inform them of the racing activity she saw the pair engaged in earlier that morning. If that wasn't jarring enough, the prosecuting attorney also called up Lynn, the passenger in Camille's car, and
So now we're going to find out what this demon's passenger had to say about the conversations they had before and after the accident, and about what kind of human being her so-called friend Camille turned out to be.
Revealed Camille and Leon's lack of remorse over the whole situation. Lynn claims that she was best friends with Camille, but ceased the relationship over the morality of the situation. Lynn supported the neighbor's claim that Camille and Leon were not driving safe in the neighborhood, and confirmed that the neighbor had spoken to both Camille and Leon. She also shared that, in the moments before the pair sped off at the intersection, Camille and Leon exchanged a conversation through their car windows over who could accelerate faster. Camille in past interrogations claimed that this was true, though she informed her brother not to go faster than 55 miles an hour so that they wouldn't be pulled over. Lynn's testimony contradicted that claim, citing the pair never talked about speed limits. During her testimony, Lynn admitted she was scared during her 911 call because she had realized the car Camille was driving could have just as easily impacted Dalton and Taylor's vehicle. She shared that Camille was largely concerned about the damage to the car and the condition of her siblings, but that nobody went to the red car and that Camille was unremorseful. Lynn also detailed that at a time after the crash during a birthday party, Camille and Leon, among other family members, held a conversation blaming the red car for the accident despite their excessive speeds. She further shares that the Bond family seemed to only care about their own family being injured and held no empathy or sadness for Dalton or Taylor's passing. Lynn also...
Surprising? I hope that's not surprising. I hope that's not surprising to anybody. Fruit like this comes from a rotten vine. And when I say rotten, I mean right down to the roots. You don't get to be this disgusting of a human being in isolation. You're surrounded by disgusting human beings. And you just magnify their behavior.
Also cited that she stopped being friends with Camille after the birthday party because she felt sad, traumatized, and remorseful while Camille felt differently. Other witnesses appeared on the stand to share their opinions of Camille and Leon's driving. One witness shared they told others after witnessing their speeds that they're going to kill somebody moments before the crash. Other witnesses added more claims to Camille's words on scene, including, "The f***ing bitch better be dead or I'll find her and kill her," and "You stupid dumb ass effing white bitch." Others sharing, "In all the years I've been driving, I've never seen seen 2 cars drive like that before." And that witnesses found it jarring. Camille didn't attempt to help her injured sister, but was able to maintain threatening 2 fatal crash victims. The defense's argument that Dalton and Taylor's vehicle should have yielded brought frustrations to witnesses taking the stand, one individual having what appears to be a heated back and forth over the perceived ridiculousness of his argument. One professional opinion on the stand debunked the defense's right-of-way right-of-way argument, citing that, statutorily, the right-of-way vehicle loses that claim if they are speeding, and in this case, the vehicles were estimated to be traveling over twice the speed limit. That same professional opinion cited data that showed if the two vehicles were not drag racing and were traveling the speed limit, Dalton and Taylor would have easily cleared the intersection without contact. A jury court would unanimously convict her on all of her charges. In closing statements prior to determining Camille's sentencing, countless contributions from the community shared how the case, and particularly the loss of Dalton and Taylor, impacted their lives. Taylor's father shared that he'll never forget the scream his wife, Taylor's mother, let out the day two police officers came to their home to inform them of their daughter's death. He shares that the sound still haunts him to that day. Dalton's older brother Dylan, a pastor, shared that if Camille's family remained blind to her guilt, that she would remain guilty on the day of her judgment, and God would strike her down for the murderer that she is. Friends of the family shared frustrations with Leon's light sentence, sharing that they hated the court system for giving him such an easy break. They also shared that rules do not apply to Camille, and that she will kill again. They referenced Camille's lack of remorse, pointing out that Camille turned to her mom, laughing and playing on her phone like it was any other day during breaks in court testimony. Documents revealed that the victim's family had just held a funeral the day prior for Dalton's grandfather. One cousin noted that the last photo they all took together as a family was that day. Veronica, Dalton's mom, pointed out frustrations with Camille's lack of remorse and her continued speeding infractions after the fact. Dalton's father, Jim, highlighted Camille and Leon's previous school fights, along with their alleged fist fight that broke out when they got in an accident with another driver. He also cited her claims of racial prejudice against her to be nothing of the sort when it came to Dalton and Taylor, sharing the pair had gone to Minneapolis in support of George Floyd, that Taylor had continually engaged in Native American culture and reservation programs, and that his son Dalton was involved in a mostly Hmong and Hispanic car club. He also highlights an alleged...
It's a shame that you should have to prove that you're not a racist because someone else accused you of being one with no proof. She wasn't forced to prove her claim that you are racist. But now, just to clear the field, just to make sure that things aren't taken out of context, and to keep the focus on their disgusting behavior, you got to prove that you're not a racist so we can get on with the facts. It's just all so damn disgusting.
Social media conversation Camille had where she mentioned going drag racing again only 45 days after the crash. Jim also cited numerous individuals who shared stories of Dalton's acceptance and openness to other people. He also mentioned that, shortly after the incident, he and Veronica had discussed a hypothetical scenario. Their scenario involved Camille and Leon's mom, Crystal, coming to their house, apologizing and begging for forgiveness. In this case, Jim claims Veronica would have gave her a hug, invited her into the house for coffee, and discussed the nightmare as mothers, one to another. They purposefully told the court to keep communications open between them and all individuals involved in case this scenario came to a reality. A year after the incident, once Jim and Veronica saw their hypothetical scenario would never come to existence, they closed communication through the court system. In contrast, when Camille and Leon's mother Crystal took the stand, she denounced the notion that her children should be called murderers, citing a Webster's dictionary definition that mentioned premeditation, even though they were being tried for third-degree murder. She also claimed she feared Camille was going to become the next George Floyd, and said Veronica had, quote, verbally assaulted her for calling her a bad mother a year after the incident. When it came time for sentencing, the judge...
They're victims, and they only care about themselves. They see the world only from their own perspective. Offended by everything. You can't call them out for anything they do wrong. You can't point out any of their glaring, obvious flaws, even when those flaws cost you the lives of your loved ones. We're just forced to look the other way and pretend it never happened. You can't call these monsters monsters.
Judge first cited his reasoning. He shared that, in my 40 years of being involved in the legal business in various aspects, I've never been involved in a case that's affected and impacted so many different people in so many different ways. He also pointed out frustrations that Leon was tried as a juvenile and wouldn't spend a day in prison as long as he abides by his probation conditions. Before sharing the sentencing, he told Camille directly, "I think you're in deep denial about what exactly your role played in this event." For her third-degree murder charges, she was sentenced with 150 months for one and 180 months for the other, which would be served concurrently with her sentence for criminal vehicular operation resulting in serious bodily harm, which amounted to 38 months. For the rest of her convictions, a sentence was not pronounced. Because all of her sentences run concurrently with each other, her total sentence is 180 months, or 15 years. In Minnesota, inmates must serve 2/3 of their total sentence, making her eligible for probation after 10 years. She was also permitted 107 days of jail credit. Her court fees were waived, but she was ordered to pay Dalton's mother nearly $30,000 in restitution, which would be deducted from prison wages and from pay she obtains while on probation. Using this information, having been sentenced in March of 2023, she will likely get out of prison at the tail end of the year in 2032, when she is 30 years old. After her sentencing, Camille submitted her case into the Court of Appeals to be retried. Her appellate case was effectively denied by the courts, sealing her sentence. While the records we obtained from the state
10 years. You took the lives of two people. You cursed them after their death. You taunted the families. You showed no remorse, no compassion. You took zero responsibility. You lied. You deflected. You played the race card. You did every disgusting thing imaginable. You showed no redeeming qualities whatsoever, and all you got was 10 years in prison, when what you should have gotten was 10 lifetimes. But all you got was 10 years in prison. And I pray that there's no one out there who honestly believes that she's going to come out of prison 10 years later a better person. That she's going to have some epiphany and all of a sudden realize what she did was horrible and repent or change her lifestyle behavior. She's going to come back just an older monster than she was when she went in. And so our judicial system has failed us. Her parents have failed us. She has failed us. It's just a broken cycle. And it's something we need to fix. If these degenerate, moronic parents can't raise the little monsters to be decent members of society, then we should expect that our judicial system will take them out of society so we can move on in our lives and be productive without being threatened by their behavior. That's the least we should be able to expect. These two are going to go on and on about the courts and the laws and what's changed and yada, yada, yada. And it really amounts to much of nothing because it's not going to bring these two back. And it's not going to make our streets any safer. It's not going to prevent these bastard demons from coming out and doing the exact same thing to either you or I. It's not going to get him from not sitting on the toilet with an ankle bracelet on, holding $1,000 in his hand and smiling while two other people are sitting in a graveyard, never to be seen or spoken to again. So I'm not going to play it because it's, in my opinion, completely irrelevant. Like I said, some of these videos are tough. There's no humor in them. And today you got to see and meet an absolute wicked demon of a human being. And so My heart goes out to the family of the two people who were lost. And that's all I got for you on this one, GT Magazine. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace.